Well, hey there, good viewers. Welcome back to Shop Talk Tuesday Live. Richard Collins, what's up? Um, I'm just going to take a few minutes to get set up here because I honestly we were working on the house today. If you can tell, the room back here is being worked on, have a camera going and stuff like that. I almost forgot that it was close to 7 o'clock for Shop Talk Tuesday. But if you would, those of you who are joining me, give me a shout out. Let me know where you're chiming in from, and if you have any projects that you're working on at the moment. DK says, "Hey Nate, Melanie Moore, hi from Oklahoma. Patty from Florida. What's going on, guys and gals? How are you all doing this evening? Um, did you guys check out the latest video that I posted yesterday? Actually, I guess it didn't post till early this morning, but anyway, did you guys check it out? It came out pretty sweet. Tom Smith says, "Hey from Virginia. What's going on, Tom? A local Virginian." Melanie Morris is working on patio furniture. Eric says, "Sub Nathan. Mission Vejo, how do you say that? Vejo, California, looking for slabs." Eric, you asking me if I'm looking for slabs, or are you looking for slabs? Malcolm, Palm Bay, Florida. William, hi from Arizona. DK says, "Watch your video an hour ago. Came out great. Awesome." Tom says, "Love the fire." MJ says, "Cheers from Florida. Just finished my first bar top. Came out great." That is awesome. Hey, if you guys, most of you might be on there. Some of you may not be. But if you go over to Facebook, if you guys have Facebook, and go over to the Good View Woodworks community group. It's a closed group, but over there you can share pictures and comment on everybody's things and encourage people and stuff like that. Little community we have going over there. So guys, go over there and check that out. All you have to do is answer a couple of questions, and I'll just accept it. And you guys can feel free to post all your pictures and things there. So it's pretty cool. Susan says, "Got my first live edge boards. Want to make a bench. Would never try if it hadn't been for watching you. Thanks for everything you teach us." Hey, no problem, Susan. No problem at all. Jared says, "What's up, Nate? Checking it from upstate New York. Haven't got your video yet. Was building a huge deck on the house this weekend." Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We've been working at our house as well. So behind us, we're gonna do this is one of the if you look at the title, it says big news. This is one of the things that we're going to be doing. But you see behind me, we're going to epoxy this floor. This is going to be the playroom for the kids. So we're going to epoxy this floor right here. So we're getting it all ready for that. So it's going to be pretty cool. It'll be my first time doing a floor. So hopefully it comes out great. It should. And I'll teach you guys basically what to do, what not to do if I mess up. So Jared Wakeman says, "What's up, Nate? Checking from upstate New York. Haven't got time to watch your video." Gotcha. Okay, I just read that one. So Martina says, "Hello there." Chad, hey all. Tom Smith says, "When you're done with the river board, what is it called? The last self-level finish?" Hey Tom, great question. And before I let you know, this Shop Talk Tuesday is just kind of like an open type in, ask as many questions as you need to, and then I'll do my best to try to answer them as we go along. JDM Woodworking Car Detailing says, "Can I send you a pic on Instagram of my first river table?" Of course. Yeah, feel free to send me stuff on Instagram as well. And I appreciate the super chat too, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. So Tom, let's get back to your question. Tom, it's called and for those of you who do not know what a flood coat is, it is the finish coat. If you guys look at the last video, I went over in detail on a flood coat. But if I miss anything, feel free to leave a comment and we'll be available to answer it. Richard Collins says, "Are you going to video the pouring of the floor?" Yes. Yep. I got my GoPro set up right there. I'm going to record it and show you guys what's up. Timmy 2 says, "Hey Nathan." What's up, Timmy 2? Hey Dad. So Jennifer says, "Hey Nathan and good viewers, happy Tuesday. Checking in from Southern New Hampshire." Hey Jennifer, how's it going? Tom Smith says, thank you very much." So yeah, we're gonna be doing this floor. I'm a little bit nervous just because it's a lot of epoxy, especially we're gonna be doing 4 ounces per square foot, and so that's quite a bit. I had a company reach out to me a long time ago and gave me a whole bunch of epoxy. Here, I'm gonna show it to you real quick. You guys ready? All right. Did you guys check that out? So hopefully we have enough to go over the floor. And I didn't know what I was going to use that epoxy for, so it looks like we're using it for our floor. Susan says, "Finally realized from you, I need casting resin and not coating epoxy in order to bend into freestanding piece." Um, hey, Susan, tell me what you mean. In order to bend into a freestanding piece. Yeah, I'd be really interested in what you're making. Craig says, "Good evening, Nathan. Hope all is well." Yep, Craig, all is well here. We have a lot of cool stuff going on in our personal lives. Just at the house, we hired a guy to come clear our land. We have about 2 acres, and when we bought the house, it was overgrown, and it was hard for us to try to maintain it. So it was like a jungle out there. So this guy was like, "Hey, I'll come clear it." And so we got this big machine out there just plowing everything down. So we have one big open landscape. So I'm really excited about that. Um, Linda Conway says, good to be watching, and you're from Florida. So what's up, Linda? Chad says, "I'm coming from New Zealand." Wow. Hey, Chad, what time is it there in New Zealand? Wiley, Shop Talk Tuesday. What's up, dude? What's up, Wiley? How you doing? How's work? Susan says, "Don't paint yourself into a corner with the Fabulous Four, LOL." Yeah, well, okay, so I am gonna get some cleats so that I can walk on top of it, because it's gonna be we're gonna do like a faux concrete look. So it'll be a couple of different steps. Spray paint, because we already have the gray painted. I'll mix up a few colors and brush it out. We're gonna try to make it look like concrete. So at least that's the goal. Tom Smith says, "Also from the moonshine capital of the world." Not sure where you're from. Yeah, Tom, from out here in between, near Richmond, so not too far away. JDM Woodworking and Car Detailing says, "And also I really like that carbon fiber piece you guys did." Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a friend of mine, Justin. You can go check him out on Instagram, Steel Monkey Grips. I'll type it out right here. You can go check out his stuff. He does a lot of um, shifter knobs and things like that. You can check him out on Instagram. He has some pretty cool stuff too. Madison Porter, Madison from Virginia. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? Sorry, I forgot to text you back. Jenna says, "Wednesday or Tuesday, Chad?" Oh, 11:23 a.m. Okay, so right before lunchtime. Susan says, "Don't know how to post picture, but basically you bend into a wave before it's totally cured." Oh, yeah. I have seen that. Okay, so what I've seen somebody do is you pour it out like on a piece of plastic or something you can peel it up, and they made a bowl. They like draped it over top of a bowl and made like this wavy glass bowl thing. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey Susan, if you say you don't know how to post a picture, but you could either send it to me on Instagram, or when you go to Facebook, you can post a picture there. Chad says, "My Wednesday is Nathan's Tuesday." Okay, hey Chad, okay, so you're a day ahead of us. That's pretty cool. Carrie says greetings from Edwardsburg, Michigan. And then Jennifer says Chad from the future. Yeah, that's right. Um, so I also have some. So the title said I have some big news. I also have some big news other than the floor over here. We have some really big tables coming up soon. So we have a giant 9 foot by 4 foot dining table coming up soon, and I bought the slabs. If you watched the video that I posted yesterday, you'll see some slabs behind me in the shot there, and we're going to be using those slabs to build a dining table. So the slabs are only 7 feet tall, so I have to join it on one end to make it 9 feet long. Um, so that's going to be one cool project. Then another project, we're going to be doing a podcast table for a gentleman who has a podcast. And so that one I'm also excited for too, because it's going to be a serpentine table, which I might have described this before, but imagine a donut. It's a quarter of a donut. So it has an outside radius and an inside radius. So I am a little nervous, but also excited to be able to make the form for that. So that's going to be challenging, I think, but I think I have the hang of it. uh, Susan says, exactly. I was using coding instead of casting and was having stress cracks. Like, man, that's terrible. You know what, Susan? I was going to use the same thing, so I'm glad that you did that. So now I know. I didn't actually know. I thought you would be able to use the tabletop epoxy. Wiley says, work was really quiet. Wonder why. Oh, I think he means quiet. Work was really quiet. Well, man, that's no fun. That's because I'm not there to brighten your day, huh? Nancy says, hi from Oregon. No question tonight. Love to listen. Need to send picture, checkerboard, finished 3 chess pieces. Table should be great. Hey, thanks, Nancy. I really appreciate that. Susan says, table sounds amazing. I'll stop talking now. No, Susan. Hey, anybody, feel free to continue chatting. I like reading the messages. And, this is the whole point of Shop Talk Tuesday is to get together with you guys and, talk shop. So we can talk about what's going on in the shop. We can talk about all the projects and everything. So also feel free to send in your comments. But, I really appreciate those of you who support this channel. And so anytime you feel like you want to support this channel, you can feel free to send over a super chat. Oh, man. So Alan says, if you don't flood coat on a tabletop, how far do you sand the resin and what's your final service? AJ from Florida. So if you don't do a flood coat, here, let me see. So if you don't flood coat on a tabletop, how far do you sand the resin and what's your final surface? So I'm not exactly sure what you mean there, because if you were going to just put if you build your form, had an epoxy bar top or whatever, you could sand that down to the wood and put whatever finish you want on there. So I just make sure I sand down to the same surface as the wood, and then I can coat the wood with what I like to use, Rubio Monocoat. So I would do that. But if you were just doing like seal coats and then maybe putting a polyurethane on there, I would I would make sure that I did even a small flood coat, because seal coats are uneven, and so we always want it to be even. Craig says, what do you do for your full-time job? That's a great question, Craig. So what I do for my full-time job is I work for a company that we were contractors for the railroad, and I build control houses that operate track switches and signals and things like that. And right now we have some guys. If you look at Wiley on here, he works with me as well. He's training. He's doing a really, really good job. But that's what we do. We put all the equipment in these houses, wire them, test them, make sure they do what they're supposed to do. Timmy Tube says, how's baby Esther? Baby Esther's doing great. She just turned 9 months a couple days ago. Um, so she's 9 months old now. So she's getting really big. Chad says seal coats and flood coats are optional. That is correct. Jennifer says, Nancy, was your checkerboard contrasted wood glued up? I'm thinking of doing a backgammon board. And Chad says you can do it any way you like. Exactly. Yeah. So guys, when it comes to epoxy finishes, you don't have to use an epoxy finish for if you're doing like a river table or something like that. I'll give you an example. If you guys have seen my the conference table build, when I did that, we had a black walnut with a black river, and it had Rubio monocoat as the top coat. So I had it planed and sanded to the top of the wood, so the wood was exposed, and then we sealed it with Rubio monocoat, which is like it's like an oil finish. It's really, really nice, really durable. Nancy says, "What a wonderful job, Railroad." That's right. Yeah, it's the best job I've ever had. Elvin says, "Hello, Elvin from Australia. What's up, Elvin?" JDM Woodworking Card Details. I'm going to head out. Keep up the great work and great content. No problem, JDM Woodworking. Hey, yeah. So make sure that you send me that picture on Instagram, and I'll give you a follow over there. John says, "Hey Nathan, John here from Yorkshire in UK. When you flood coat a table, what's the best way to get rid of the drips underneath? Would you let them set then sand off?" Hey, John, great question. No, what I do is I wait for the epoxy to set, where it's really sticky, but it's not dripping anymore. It's about, usually if you're using a tabletop epoxy, it's usually about 1.5 to 2 hours later. And I'll take a stir stick and I will scrape the bottom, and it takes the drips right off, so you don't have to sand so much. Really cuts a lot of it down. Craig Ellis says Osmo is also a great finish over epoxy. Yes, Osmo is a great finish. I have used it once and I really like it. And the cool thing about Osmo, as opposed to Rubio monocoat, is Rubio monocoat you can't really add multiple coats on top. It's one coat, monocoat. Now they do recommend for like black walnut to do 2, but everything else is just 1, and because it doesn't really stick to itself, it like molecularly bonds with the wood and some other cool stuff, and that's it. But Osmo is cool because you can add layer after layer to get the sheen that you want. Renee Porter says hi from Virginia Beach. Hey, Mom. And Jennifer says hi, Nathan's mom. Hey, Mom. Nick Garza, what's up, Nathan, from Fresno, California. What's up, Nick? Coleman says hello from Great Falls, Montana. Susan says brilliant. Thanks for the drop thing. Yeah, no problem. That works well. Now you obviously you can wait till they set up and sand. It just takes a lot more effort to get those drips off. Yeah. So usually what I do is another thing you can do is when you are finishing the bottom, you can finish the bottom first and put tape around the edges. Don't let it roll all the way over to the sides. And then once that's fully set, when you do the top, you can also put tape on the bottom, and so that when the epoxy comes around both roundovers and drips on the bottom, when it's still soft, you can peel the tape off and have a clean edge there as well. So hopefully that answers the drip thing. Sometimes I forget to put those in the video just because it takes a lot of time and things like that. But I think I'll do another video specifically on finishing, and we'll do a couple different styles of finish, like a hard wax oil, like Rubio monocoat or Osmo, and then we can do also epoxy finish or polyurethane or whatever. Maybe I'll do one on finishes, because I think that's one of the biggest issues for people when they go from making a river table is you got to have the finish right. And I've been there where I've messed it up too. So that's what separates the men from the boys, I guess you could say, or the women from the girls. So I'm still waiting to hear from one of the guys that I messaged on Facebook. Do you guys remember that big stump with it looked like a big star? Um, so we actually are going to go get a piece of that. Excuse me. And we're going to go get a piece of that, but I'm waiting for him to finish slicing it up. But that is going to be one sweet, sick table. That's going to be a cool series as well, because we're going to have to take that from a stump that we get. We're going to take it and have it dried, because it's going to have the pith, because it's a cookie, so it's going to crack and things like that. That's just the nature of the beast when you have the pith in there, and so it'll be quite an experience, I will say. I'm going to be learning a lot, and so it'll be a several series. Several video series on that one. Yeah, Susan. Susan says, saw something somewhere where they said to sand just round all the edges so it flows naturally to the bottom and doesn't have the drops. Yeah, Susan, if you go back to my last video that I just posted yesterday, I round over both the top and the bottom, and you can see where the drips land. So yeah, it'll roll over and it'll roll again and then drip from the bottom. And you do want that. You want all the edges to do that. So that way it drips from the bottom and not off the side, because if it drips off the side, it makes it a lot harder to have a good clean finish, good clean edge. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to send them down in the comment section. As far as news, that's all the news that I have for this evening. So I really appreciate you guys coming on here and just talking with me and asking questions. It's a blast every single week. So Chad says, I use Triple E Ultra Shine and traditional wax. And Saber Saw says, what's up, buddy? What's up, Saber Saw? Susan says, must have been you. Yeah, it could have been. So, but anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I'll answer a couple more questions. Saber Saw says, favorite epoxy resin that's effective for UV. So this is possible table. So Ecopoxy has a good UV resistant epoxy. I think it's called UV epoxy. And then Stone Coat Countertops has art resin, which is also UV resistant. So I would choose either one of those. You can go look online and check them out. So yeah, I personally wouldn't have an epoxy table outside just because they tend to yellow, all of them yellow. But you could also use a polyaspartic finish. You can look that up. And also a, what's the other one? I have to figure out the name of the other one, but it's more like a spray-on finish. So those are the two that I would suggest. And DK says, thanks, Nate, great as always. But once again, guys, I want to thank you for coming out this evening. Had a blast talking with you guys. Feel free to go over to Facebook, check out the community group over there, Good View Woodworks community group. And then you can check me out on Instagram at Good View Woodworks. Ask me any questions there or send some pictures. But as always, guys, thanks for hanging out with us, and I will see you on the next one.